want to touch on our recruiting class now that it's all official and been announced. Tookie Brown and Joe Strug have been committed to us for a long time, and to see those guys finally sign their papers is a good thing for Mississippi State basketball. I think Tookie is similar to IJ. In fact, he's a tough little point guard, but I think he's got a little bit more of a scorer's mentality. And obviously, we want to continue to recruit guys who win state championships. And then Joe Strug is coming in from a great program at Carver. Coach Jackson continues to do a good job of mentoring those guys, and I think he'll be a young man that comes in similar to Oliver Black. I think you need guys that are 6'9", 6'8", long and athletic that can do some things both on the perimeter and in the post in order to be successful in the SEC. And then Quindary Witherspoon is a kid that's won back-to-back state championships. He's one of the better players in the country and probably the second best player in the state of Mississippi. So you want to make sure that you keep those types of talents in your state. So I'm really excited about that recruiting class. I think our assistant coaches, I think you're starting to see as we continue to get more and more developing relationships in our state and throughout the area, that it's going to come to fruition for us getting elite talent here at Mississippi State.
Questions? Talk about Utah State a little bit and what you've seen from them early in the year.
Well, you know, it's funny, Paul, because this is going to be the exact opposite of what we just got through playing. Mississippi Valley State is a team that plays really frantic and creates turnovers and traps, whereas Utah State is the exact opposite. They're a really disciplined basketball club. I think Coach Morrill has over 600 wins already as a coach, and anytime you're able to stay in a game that long shows that you're a really good coach. They really do a good thing in that they always are looking for ways to score in their sets. I think sometimes people run sets and they're really not sure what they're looking for in that set. They have about 50 set plays. They got 2 play cards over there. It's kind of like football sidelines sometimes. They got a fake one and they got a real one, so you don't know which set they're actually running. So it's hard to pick up on their set. So we've got to be a disciplined, principled bunch if we're going to beat Utah State.
Is this the type of game where you can maybe gauge where your team is at early in the season?
Oh, no question about it. I mean, they've had some quality wins already to go in and win at Illinois State. Illinois State, I think, was picked to be 3rd in the Missouri Valley Conference. For them to go and get that road win already. So this won't be the first time that they'll be playing a road basketball game. And I think Utah State, no matter where they're picked in their conference, is going to be in the top tier of that conference. They've proven that year in, year out. They always have veteran guys on their team. They have older guys because they got 20-year-old freshmen and some guys that are 23-year-old in the program, the seniors. So they'll be a veteran ball club, and they'll be really screwed down.
Do you have an update on Craig's health status right now?
Same. He is stagnant at this point in time. Actually, IJ is past him as far as like him being on the court and doing some things. So at this point in time, IJ is ahead of Chicken.
Is there a timetable for either of them?
No, it's the same with that back. It's just all about how they respond. So as they go from step to step, it's how they feel the next day.
Fred Thomas has been playing really well. Did you see that coming? And why do you think he's playing so well?
Well, I think the biggest reason is maturity. He's a young man that's gone from being a freshman to a sophomore and a junior, and every year he's gotten better as a basketball player. I think you can see physically he's so much bigger and stronger than what he was. I was watching tape last year of some of our games, and he doesn't even look like the same person, body type. I think the other thing is the comfortability of him knowing what he's supposed to be doing now in our program. So there's a whole bunch of different factors, I think, to why he's improved. But he's put in a lot of time in the off season on trying to become a better basketball player. trying to get a guy to like not be aggressive and not take as many bad shots, and so for him it's the exact opposite, trying to push him in that direction. So it's really unique because usually you're trying to get guys to take their gas off the pedal, and for him we want him to push the pedal a little bit more.
Are you pleased with the production and the substitution pattern that you're getting out of that 4 and 5 spot?
Well, the one thing that I'm concerned about is when we do sub, we end up with 4 freshmen out there on the court all the time. And so we've got to find a way in our substitution patterns where we don't end up with so many newcomers out there at the same amount of time. But as far as like what they're doing, I think I've been pretty pleased. Gavin's been playing so well at times that it's hard to get Falou out there for extended amount of minutes, and so we've got to continue to find some minutes for him. For Oliver Black, we got to get him to be a little bit more aggressive on the offensive end, because I think he does a really good job of chasing down rebounds, whether it be defensive or offensive. So I think he's fit fine into that rotation, and I think he does a pretty good job of passing the ball high-low situations to Gavin or to Falou. So I'm pleased with that front line. We just got to make sure we find a way as a staff that all 4 of those freshmen aren't out there at the same time.
Can you talk about the Puerto Rico tip-off? I mean, what that kind of does for the program next year?
Well, you always want to be able to show to your recruits that you're going to elite basketball tournaments. And these exempt tournaments, I think, have become a really big deal. I was sitting there watching one of my best friends in the College of Charleston is playing right now out there, so and Earl Grant. And the other thing it does is you want to take your guys in your program to nice exotic locations. My wife never bothers me about anything in the program, but she always wants to know where we're going for those exempt tournaments. You know, she wants to go to Maui, and she wants to go to, you know, to Puerto Rico and places like that. So I think it's a good cultural experience for our team to go places like that as well. But it's also a recruiting tool as well.
Why do you think they've kind of sprouted up and become such a big phenomenon?
Well, that's a good question. I think more so than anything is getting a chance to go and play against elite competition. I think also getting a chance to go and travel to a place like a San Juan, Puerto Rico, or to a Maui, or to the Bahamas. And the other thing, too, is the fact that you get a chance to count 3 for 1 or 2 for 1 is on your schedule, so you get more games.
SID's favor those two. Anything else?